Life is trial and error. Every decision we make comes with consequences, lessons, and sometimes regrets. Whether it's our personal lives, the courtroom, relationships, parenting, or even the headlines we see every day, we're all trying to figure it out as we go. The problem is, some mistakes cost more than others. Some people get grace, some people get second chances, and some people get judged before they even get a chance to explain themselves. So today, we're talking about trial and error, what's working, what's not, and why so many people feel like the system itself is failing them. This is episode 33 with your girl K Camille and the 28th hour experience, where we keep it real. Let's go. What's the deal? It's your girl K Camille with the 28th hour experience, where you know the stories are real. Hello, how y'all doing out there? I'm so happy to be back. I hope that you guys are not too mad at the announcement of every other Thursday and 12 p.m. noon, but that is when you'll be seeing me. And I just think that it's gonna work for the summer. It's gonna work. You get to watch me while you at work or you at the park. It's gonna work. It's gonna work for both of us. So let's just jump right in. So this episode is called Trial and Error, and the reason I call it that is because these cases, there's been a lot of cases going on in social media, and I want to jump right in to the Karmelo Anthony case, where the young man has been charged 35 years for unaliving another student named Austin McCaff. The incident happened at a track meet after Karmelo was looking for shelter from rain and was offered a space in another team's tent by someone he knew. The victim, Austin McCaff, began antagonizing him, telling him to leave for no apparent reason. There were other students involved, you'll hear it because I got some videos. But apparent reason, it was a very bad rainstorm, so the part is unclear why he was telling Karmelo to get from under the tent. Now, I want y'all to check out this video. Let's watch it together, of a witness account, and I just seen it on TikTok, so I was like, let's go ahead and watch it together on here of what she said happened. Okay.
11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Karmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent, and then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Karmelo Anthony, and like T said before, it was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Karmelo, in the midst of them assaulting him, you can see Karmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Karmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Karmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Karmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 220-something pounds. So for people to say that he should have used his hands,
and which
people
we have
can
seen
die
a lot of
from
people
fights,
being unalived from
people
fights,
using
so
their hands.
No, he was it's self-defense,
and that's all I'm going to say for right now. My name is.
When I seen that video, I just wanted to hear from somebody who actually seen the video, and that is crazy. You guys know I'm a big fan of Torre, and of course he covered it I'll have his video link below. I'll have that video link below as well. All the videos that you see in this episode today will be linked below in the description bar. But, Tori was giving some behind the scenes about Karmelo Anthony that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily have known, because we're just getting told that he's a murderer. Anywho, but Torre was saying, he was 17 at the time when this happened. He's now 19. So he was, in fact, a child. He had a 3.7 GPA. So, he was a scholar, team captain of the football team, which means he was commendable to lead. Like Torre was giving a whole rundown, 2 jobs, 2-parent household. And what I took from that is that's the perfect recipe that you would think to keep especially a black child, a black boy, out of trouble. It leads many people to think, okay, so what went wrong? But when you have a situation where, like how Torre, and that's why I need y'all to watch his video, how he was explaining how Austin McCaff was raised. You can have been raised with all of that protection, but it's vultures out here. Like, it is people out here who are raised to hate. It is people out here who are raised to hunt. It is people out here who are raised to think they are the superior. So, it's a conversation that we need to have. I want you to check out his video because he really got into the behind the scenes, because I didn't like how, the victim's father calling Karmelo Anthony a melon felon. That was so inappropriate, so very inappropriate, and it leads you to think, if the shoe was on the other foot and this was vice versa, would that counterpart got 35 years? And we can all agree, more than likely, no. More than likely, the video would have been shown. All the witnesses would have been able to be on the stand. The jury would have been evened out. I'm hearing no black jurors. That video that the woman was just speaking of was not being able to be shown in the courtroom. All of these things, and there's so many rumors that, we could talk about to ends on, but we need facts, what's going on with the prison, what's going on with the judge, what's going on with those things. I don't know those things to be fact or true, so I'm not going to speak on them on my platform, but it is a lot of talks about this particular case. And like the lady said in the video, when Karmelo's team is talking self-defense, it is warranted. He's 5'8", $140. Austin is 6'2", over 200 pounds. And I just don't understand where it went wrong with his team, where that video was not shown as evidence, because it's evidence, and then, we got this blankly in our face. You got people out there. It's about to then there be a race war. On the turns of the week before that, the young man who got unalived by the shop owner, who didn't commit a crime, he was running for his life. He got pew-pewed in the back, and he walked away innocent. So again, people are always talking about, why are everybody talking about all lives matter? Why do you get mad? Because it's studies. It's so many studies. It's so many statistics out there that shows that the black lives that are getting taken away, it's like a hunt. Like they get hunted like deer. It's ridiculous. It's scary. It's not safe. And it makes black people don't have a safe space in a country that we have fought for too, that we have built, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that later. But he wasn't found guilty for pew-pewing that young boy. He was in his back, running for his life. When he went in the store, the lady, it literally was like a scene from Menace to Society. It literally was like a scene from, and even Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Juice South Central, a satire of it. But that's what happens. We can laugh at those movies, but that just happened in the 2020s. Those movies came out in the 90s. It's still happening today. And that is the conversation that I want us to have, right? And again, they talking about that they thought he had a weapon. It was his mother's phone. He's running for his life. He fell multiple times. Um, and he's free. And then you give a 17-year-old boy who's now 19, 35 years, who was defending himself. The young man in the store, the lady, we don't allow bags in the store. He left it at the door, went to the back, grabbed 4 waters, seeing that he getting pressed. I don't even want to buy from here. If I don't like that I'm being racially profiled. Put the waters back. Proceeded to leave. They left their store. They left their property to go chase a young man, unalive him, and they are free today. But Karmelo Anthony sits in a cell with his head shaved off, humiliated, and just railroaded and blindsided. And I want us all to pray for Karmelo Anthony. We want to pray for Cyrus Carmack Belton, because he didn't deserve that. He did everything right. And that was on video as well. And that video was shown in the court. And the man, and he's 61 years old, got found innocent. And what's so crazy is he has priors of using that pew-pew towards other customers. So if what is a black person supposed to do today in society? We can't win for losing. So let's turn things around a bit, because we're going to be talking about speaking on public opinions and people feeling entitled to judge every detail in someone's life. Okay? Because felon and judging somebody because of their skin color is one thing. But now the social media is in frenzy because of a couple who decided to come out publicly saying they just terminate the pregnancy after finding out that the baby would have Down syndrome. Now, it's a lot wrong with this. People are offended because, one, it's people who are alive and well with Down syndrome, so their wording. People felt a bit uncomfortable with reading the actual results live time, the reaction. It was a bit uncomfortable. As watching it, you felt like, should I be here right now? It's like that when you walking out, like, okay, call me, girl. Call me when you get that together, and you back out the door. It was like one of those things. It was very uncomfortable, and it is a conversation, and they're saying, it isn't something that hasn't happened, and that's true. I'm not going to say they are the first couple that made that decision. I think it's just not well received because how they went about it. Just publicly saying it, and again, their verbiage that they use, like a string of bad health. Now, granted, you do have people who are like, they made the right decision, because living with a disability where somebody will potentially have to take care of them for the rest of their lives, who wants that for their child? Nobody, even the children, even the parents who have the children who are here, who are living with disabilities, one of their biggest fears are, when I leave here, who's going to take care of my child? And some people don't want to deal with that, okay? But that's where it comes, where too much for the internet. You have your own right, just like a woman who doesn't have anything wrong with a child and she chooses to go get an abortion. That's her choice. The thing about it is, some things are not meant for social media. Even if it's a conversation that we are trying to have, there are rooms, arenas for that conversation. I feel like if she would have teamed up with a medical, because they are popular social media influencers, so maybe if they would have teamed up with a medical person or a type thing to explain the struggles of finding out that news and what your options are, because it is a scary time when you get those tests and you want your child to be healthy. But then you have the argument of what is technically pure health, because you have people who have disabilities that are doing fine. You have the others who are saying you should have had the baby because Down syndrome has a spectrum. They didn't necessarily have to be to the point where people needed to take care of them, but we will never know. That's where it's like, you gotta pick and choose what you want to share. And to me, in my opinion, that was too personal to share. So now you got to deal with, what comes with it. And unfortunately, they're getting death threats. they're getting, antagonized, they're getting railroaded on social media because people feel some type of way. But you open that door the moment you allow that private, intimate moment between you and your spouse to be displayed for the world. So now all the world's opinions are being made. So praying for y'all and y'all healing, and you know, being able to deal with that, because I know social media can be a tough place, a rough place to deal with stuff like that. So not only are you mourning the grief of losing a child, you are dealing with cyberbullying. So I hope that they get through that. Now, the last one for our Beyond the Headlines, because you know how we do. Now, Tyra Banks, please stop. Please just sit down. Let this story, let this steam blow over. It was blowing over because I swear I wasn't hearing nothing about Tyra Banks until this. So Tyra Banks is suing Netflix for defamation. Tyra, you know, the the documentary could have been aired on Hulu, Stars, HBO, Tubi, and we would have all came to the same conclusion, that it was a hot mess. The way those girls were treated was crazy. The way you responded, you could have responded to all of this. You defamed your own character, in my opinion. Is it your everything your fault? No, because these women were grown, and it's a trial and error. You win some, you lose some. So they put their faith in you because they looked up to you. We all watched the show. We all tuned into the show. And like I said, when we talked about it weeks and months ago, if I would have knew that was going on, I wouldn't have tuned into that, because those girls were really coming because they had a dream of being a model. And we liked seeing all the fabulous things and the obstacles that they had to go through. That was the entertaining part. But the moment that you are bullying them and making them cry, all of that, and the actual assault per se that was happening, and nobody said nothing, that's a bit much. So when you talk about defamation of character, once that you want it, and that's when you go, that's what I think what's showing is you didn't mean well when you did that documentary. That documentary was literally meant to show we're coming out with another America's Next Top Model. And when you didn't get the feedback that you wanted, is the moment that, oh, well, they're defaming my character. No. We were all rooting for you. And this is what we came up with. So no. So we're going to keep our ear to that, see what's going on with that, because I just thought that was so hilarious, because I'm like, we were all watching it. Like, these are people's accounts. Like, people were saying their personal accounts. How can they defame your character just saying what happened to them? That's their life story. I don't understand it. Just hold yourself accountable, and maybe the public will listen to what you have to say. Let's move on. I just have a quick announcement about the show. One more time. I am every other Thursday at 12 p.m. noon instead of 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will see me every other Thursday at 12 p.m. So that means the next time you see me, it will be July 2nd. July 2nd, we will see each other again, and I will be on at 12 p.m. So don't miss it. Of course, I will keep the reminders on YouTube and Instagram. Make sure you follow my Instagram at the 28th Hour Experience. Make sure you follow my Facebook at the 28th Hour Experience. Go be a follower on Spotify when the days you don't want to watch or you don't have time, at the 28th Hour Experience. And if you have a letter story time that you want to share with us and the 28th Hour Insiders over here, please feel free to email me at the 28th Hour exp@gmail.com. Now, that's it. Let's move on to Song of the Week. Y'all know ain't no Song of the Week is not going nowhere, to say the least. So this comes from my near and dear friend Mat Randol, and he just dropped an album on the 13th of June. And this album is hip hop at its purest. It's bars. It's hip hop. So if you're looking for a hip hop album, this is something that you need to tune into. So the album is called RandolFromDaNorf, and I had to give y'all a song for Song of the Week on there, but I do have some faves that I will mention right now two faves that are not the song of the week, but they are because I'm listening to them just as much. It's the breakup song. It's breakup song and makeup song. They go together, obviously, but they are really, really good songs. I really, really enjoy them. But this one I've been vibing to this week. It's called If Heaven Had FaceTime. And I picked this because I know myself and a lot of my viewers often wish that they could get one more phone call with their loved one, or one more FaceTime call, or one more hug, one more conversation with that loved one that they lost. The song is special. It's raw. It's very vulnerable because it's personal to him. You know, he has suffered loss just like I have. And I really appreciate him for coming out with something that speaks to the people who really wish that we could have one more conversation, you know. Not only, you know, is it a great song, reflective song, the sample is fire. I will say and go on and on again about songs of the week that have samples that are good samples. This was a very good sample, a good message behind the song. And I'm just so glad that he put this in his music. I'm really glad that he got vulnerable with us with this, because I've talked about his other music, but loss is a hard thing, and especially to deal with in our communities, because, you know, grief is looked at like, okay, we'll get over it. Some things it's harder than others, and people that we lost that was close to us, that were our shields, that were our heartbeats, literally. You know, that's not something that you just can get over. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, Matt. I love If Heaven Had a FaceTime. Go listen to Randol from the North. Check out my 3 top faves: breakup song, makeup song, If Heaven Had a FaceTime, and check it out. But soon I will be interviewing Matt, and we will get into those songs and the music and his story behind his music, and even some parenthood too, because he's an amazing dad. So shout out to you, Matt. You got song of the week. Go check out the album and let me know what y'all think. Let's move on. So I have this new segment. It's not even a new segment because it's Hold the Line, but instead of doing 28th Hour of Truth every time you see me, I wanted to kind of switch it. So we're doing Hold the Line Reaction Room, where my viewers send me in videos, because they send me in videos all the time, like, can you talk about this? Can you do this? So if you don't have a letter or a advice question or a story time that you want to share, you see a video that you want me to react to and talk about on the 28th Hour Experience, please feel free to send me those videos to the 28th Hour Experience on Instagram or on Facebook. And I believe TikTok too. You can follow me on TikTok at k.camille28. But I digress. Anywho, let's get to the first video. So the first video was sent from a viewer, and it has such a powerful message, and I just wanted to share it because I know it's summertime and it's about to be a lot of BS going on, a lot of dangling. I've been there, done that, and I just want y'all to see this message. So let's check it. So let's check this video out. It has a powerful message right in time for the summer.
My mama always taught me, don't let nobody call you and get you out your bed at night. My mama said if somebody is urgently trying to get you out your bed, trying to get you to come somewhere, that person is calling you to your death. And I have always lived by that. I have never let nobody call me and get me out my bed. Not a nigga, not a friend, nothing. Let me tell you about this girl from when I was in college. She let somebody call her to her death. And I truly believe like in what my mama said. So I never forget, it was a night, it was like me and a couple of my other friends that was in the dorm. It was our sophomore year. And we used to play pranks on the boys. Like the way the dorm was set up, the boys was on the 3rd floor, we was on the 2nd floor, and then the bottom floor was like the lobby area. And it was some rooms down there at the bottom too. I never forget, one day we had put like bubbles inside of in a bucket, and we used to take it and we used to throw the bubbles underneath the boys' dorm. Like we'll throw the bubbles underneath the door and flood their rooms out. It was one of those nights where we was like playing pranks on the dudes, so we had to go in our rooms. So boom, she wasn't a part of the prank. She was in her bed. She was actually sleeping. So one of the girls that went to college with us, she didn't stay in the dorm. She just was like one of the girls that went to college with us. She like, yeah, she like, I'm finna go fight this bitch, because it was somebody that was dealing with her boyfriend, and she was like, she needed a way there. I promise y'all I'm not telling no lies. So the girl, she like, yeah, she like, I need you to come take me to fight these girls. So the girl get up out her sleep. She said, okay. She really didn't want to. And we was trying to convince her, because we was having so much fun at the dorms. We like, girl, like, don't get involved in that shit. Like, come on, come have fun with us. Like, we, doing pranks and shit. So she insists on it. She like, nah, she like, this my friend. I gotta go help my friend. She just need me to take her. I'm gonna take her and I'm gonna come right back. So we get a call and they like, Didi dead. And we like, literally like 30 minutes later, we like, how is this girl dead? Like, it's no fucking way that this girl is fucking dead, y'all. And this is what's crazy. The girl that called her to the fight did not even die. The girl that called her to the fucking fight didn't even die. That's what's crazy for me. Like, and it always be like that. It always be the person that's innocent, that ain't doing shit wrong, that end up losing their life. The friend that called Didi to the fight said that she went to a girl house. They pulled up to a girl house to go fight. The girl told them to come out there. Soon as they pulled up out there, the girl came out the house and was shooting at them. The friend, she got hit in the process of trying to drive away. What's crazy for me is that the person that started all of this, she didn't even die. The friend died. Like, that's why my mama always used to tell me, like, don't do that. Like, if somebody call you and get you up out your bed, don't go, because somebody could be called. Let me tell y'all something my mama always taught me.
Listen. And she's not lying. That's how easy it is. So to all them teen takeover, total takeover, down, be mindful. All that fighting, all that pulling up to people's house, you can't do that. Because if you gonna do that, be prepared to what's waiting for you. Don't let them people get you out your good bed. It's literally that quick. The old folks always used to say, trouble is easy to get into. Trouble is so easy to get into and hard to get out of. That's the saying. Trouble is so easy to get into and so hard to get out of. So when y'all going to these places, fighting at these carnivals, going downtown, trying to do all these things, be mindful, because your life can be gone in a split second, whether you're at a penitentiary or you at somebody's cemetery. It's no in between. You don't get too many second chances in this game called life. And if you do, you're lucky. But how many cases are those compared to the ones who are just up out of here? So be careful. Thank you to the viewer that sent that in, because I do feel like that is very valid. Y'all need to pay attention and don't let nobody call y'all out y'all bed. The second video I just wanted to bring up because the weather is crazy everywhere. Now, last time we talked, I talked about the floods. I talked about Katrina. I talked about being in the Midwest, where we're getting 90s one day, and like this week, all 70s below average, which our average would be 80s. We're not even touching 80s this week. So it's crazy, right? So they just confirmed that a super El Nino is coming. So I want y'all to check this out, because it tripped me out. And again, that video that we seen previously, her name is Pretty in Park on Instagram. It will be linked in the description below. This one is from a TikToker that I watch his videos all the time, Poke Chop. He'll be described below too, and this is about the super El Nino coming. Check this out, y'all.
In the last 48 hours, the NOAA officially confirmed a Super El Nino advisory. It is essentially guaranteed now that a Super El Nino is coming. We are in one as we speak. Additionally, they have essentially confirmed severe weather will be seen across the entire continental United States and much of the world. Let's chop it up. So for those of you who don't understand what a super El Nino is, well, an El Nino is a changing weather climate circumstance in which essentially we're going to experience an increased amount of typhoons on the West Coast. And historically, based on what we're seeing, this is going to be one of the largest ever, meaning we are also most likely going to experience severe amounts of rainfall in the South, specifically Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. Additionally, the last time we saw weather circumstances like this, Florida had the most active tornado season they have ever experienced in the 1980s. Up north, you can expect severe winters, high levels of ice, so severe cold with a lot of moisture. Perfect for ice circumstances. I would also anticipate an increased level of snowfall. This chart here shows temperature variance in the sea in degrees Celsius. If you look, it is anticipated that this is going to be the highest upper level ocean temperatures we have ever experienced. We're looking at potentially the worst El Nino in 200 years. What does this mean for you? How do you prepare? Well, what you need to do first is you need to begin the process of stockpiling water. Should you lose power? Now in Texas, we will lose power if we experience a severe freeze. You know this, okay? You need to stockpile water. It's estimated that you're gonna need somewhere between half a gallon and 1 gallon per person per day. If you do not have the square footage in your home to stockpile this amount of water, what you're going to want to do is stockpile water treatment tablets. This can allow you to fill up just about any container and treat large quantities of water. If money is not an issue, you can also invest in what is called life straws, which will allow you to drink even pretty dirty water out of any usable container. I also highly recommend beginning the process of saving for a small generator. If power outages are experienced during times of severe flood or rain, life-threatening circumstances are inevitable. So you need to make sure you have some way to maintain power. Even a small generator can allow you the opportunity to have communication, meaning you can keep your phone charged should you need to call for help. I would also highly recommend beginning to stockpile canned food, things that you can eat cold, things that you do not need to heat. But it is going to be very important. Please, for the love of God, do not forget, if you are going to stockpile canned food, please keep a can opener in your storage. Next 6 months, it is going to be very important that you keep your eyes on the weather and pay attention if any evacuation or emergency notices are issued. Heed these warnings. Do not ignore them. When they come out, it is often almost already too late to leave. Okay, so you need to pay attention to the weather in your area, especially this winter and this hurricane season.
Bananas. Like, the weather is messed up. Government's messed up. We're at war. The weather, everything is just messed up. Last video, and it made me, and I'm nervous because it's 70s right now. It should be 80s. It took so long to get to those 90s that we got them couple of 90s and it sweltered us out, and now we're back at 70s. I'm not surprised. And they just confirmed it over the weekend about the Super El Nino coming. So look that up on TikTok and go down that rabbit hole. Tell me what you find. Send me some more videos. But here, this last video, it's not about the Karmelo Anthony case or, the Cyrus case, but it is talking about a conversation that is happening all over the country right now. So let's check it out. And before we start, this is from Black World Black History. I love their YouTube channel. Please give them a subscribe below. They will be linked in the description below. I love their stuff. They keep you in tune with what's going on. So check this out. Tell me what y'all think of this video, because it's a conversation.
Young lady, a black. Why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here? Young 10-year-old, very intelligent-looking young lady, a black young lady who will not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom. She doesn't want to stand up because apparently she believes that black Americans need a lot more to be done in this country. You know what I believe, Cornell? And I know you supported her publicly. I think at 10 years old, she has no real understanding of what America is. So I wonder if her parents have sat her down and explained what Americans have given their lives. White, black, red. It doesn't make any difference. They stood and they fought and they died for this country, and she doesn't want to do anything to honor them?
Man, she comes from a family of military service members. Her father's is a retired military service member also, who served this nation well with great dignity.
Good.
Her mother's a very intelligent woman. What white people need to understand...
Just white people?
Yes, please, let me explain. That national anthem was written by Francis Scott Key. a slave owner who demonized and hated black slaves and black people. Go research the third verse where he says, "There's no refuge in this country for the hireling or the slave. Both should be turmoil to the grave."
How's her parents do it?
This is a man
Are they successful?
that promised turmoil for black people to the grave. Would you ask Jewish children
parents
to
aren't
pledge
successful.
to a German anthem that disrespects Jewish people?
they're
No, you
living
would
in
not.
Germany,
No,
sure.
you would not.
Well, sure.
That disrespects Jewish people?
Then
No, you would
why
not.
you certainly can kneel down. In America, you have the right to do that.
America looked at the same way at Rosa Parks when she refused to get up and give up her seat to a white man on the bus. But history vindicated her.
things.
History vindicated her.
Two different
America
things.
demonized Harriet Tubman for freeing slaves from slavery, but history vindicated her. So I say to that young girl, you stand strong, stand up, and stand for what you believe in. And to all of those who are too coward to do it, don't get in that young girl's way. Others
What
like
would
her,
you like
support that young
What
girl.
would you like her to say to the men and women who have fought for this country like I ran into over the weekend? The black men and women who fought for this country and some who gave their
And
lives.
ask the black men and women who served America in its military, like in the Independence War. We helped America get it, and we were still slaves after. Ask those in Vietnam who gave their war
Why
on
didn't you
Vietnam
say in
battlefields,
2016?
but then came back and was
Why
called
don't you
in their own country. We have fought in America's war, and we've never been given the justice and the due process of everybody else in this nation.
Why don't you move to a different country? Why are you staying here if you
Man,
don't like
let me tell you why. Because
Why?
the country belongs to Indians. You folks stole it from them. It's not your country. Came over here and stole it from.
You don't like it, why don't you
Excuse
pack
me?
up and go?
Let the Indians decide who should pack up and go, and I guarantee you black folks will stay be on first damn boat leaving here. So don't try that, brother. You ought to make America.
What you should do is sit down with someone who has fought for this country, Cornell. Get their opinion too.
Tons of black people have. What have we gotten from it?
Nothing, absolutely nothing at all. So again, when we talk about these cases, this anger from black people is not misplaced or displaced. It's where we got it from, because we have been told over and over again, we don't care. Here we are, guys, at the end with the 28th hour reflection. This is where I leave you with some things that have been on my mind. I called this episode Trial and Error because it's been so much back and forth on those cases we were talking about earlier. And as a mother of boys, these stories shake me to my core. They do. So when they wonder why black people are hyper aggressive towards authority or has no trust in the judicial system, it is simply because the only place we have known as home has showed us over and over again how we are not really wanted here or welcomed and barely tolerated. That's the type of isolation that eats at you, leaves room for anger to grow. Black people have some of the most brilliant and powerful minds, but not the same opportunities to show the good. And that's the unfortunate part. That's the disconnect. And as a mother of 4 sons, I am frightened and disgusted on the things that I have to teach my sons. The fact that their normal will not be the same from a counterpart who is the same age, and everything is sad. So, we have to stay diligent. And yes, everyone's life has a purpose. But right now, we're talking about how come no one has ever found a single value in a black person's life. It needs to be studied because it's something that has been plagued on our people since we got to this country and built it. Let me know what you think about what we talked about this afternoon. What do you think about what I just said? What do you think of the climate today as a parent, as somebody who cares for young black children, as a teacher, a nurse? How do you feel about what's going on right now? Now, as always, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all for taking time out of your day to step into the 28th hour to talk and chat it up and, spend time with your girl, K. Camille. Please let me know what you thought of today's episode, what you thought of the videos that I reacted to, and what we're going to talk about next. Hit me up on all my socials, and we're going to talk on the 2nd of July. I will see y'all.
It's the 28th hour experience. Camille.